Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I thank you all for pushing play and spending a little bit of time with me today. Y'all saw the title. I figured, I haven't done a let's talk about it in a while, and since I was looking all kind of cute, looking like a baddie, and we're about to talk about the beautiful Meg the Stallion, the body yaddy Meg the Stallion, you know what I'm saying? You need to look the part. All right, so I just figured, you know what? Let me come in here and just throw my little 2 cents in there since everybody got an opinion. That's not really what my channel is geared towards, but I feel like as an oldie, I'm 57 years old. I've been married 27 years this past January to my husband, whom I've known since I was 12 years old. We've been not always in a relationship, but we have been friends for 45 years. Again, we have 3 children. 2 are biologically mine, and then my stepson, who is my son. Okay, and we have 5 grandchildren. All right, so just a little bit about me, and so I figure, just a little bit of advice from an old lady. You do what you want. Like I said, this is my opinion, my thoughts. Totally unsolicited, all the things. I'm not a licensed psychologist or anything like that. I'm just here to just give my opinion about the whole situation. I very much asked my daughter, I like music, but I'm not into music like that. So I asked my daughter, why is Meg getting all the hate? I don't understand why some of these men and some of you women are hating on Meg the Stallion. And my daughter said, it could be a couple of reasons, Mom. Some of the men or some of the people are not, they don't like Meg because of that whole Tory Lanez thing. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. And I was like, so, okay, I know about it. I didn't follow it. I'm not into stuff like that. But he was found guilty in a court of law. I'm not saying he's guilty or innocent. What I am saying is he was found guilty in a court of law. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. And then some people, and then she said another reason, they are all on her. You know how men are. They talking about her body count and stuff like that. And, she done got around. And I said, oh, okay. I said, but it seems to me I saw some stuff too about he has a large body count too. So this is my thing on that. Both of them, I don't know how old Clay is or how old Meg is. I'll put it here. But I mean, they're not old. You know what I'm saying? And even if you are old, but you're not married, I don't even know why body count has anything to do with it. If you are looking for a virgin, good luck with that. I'm not saying they don't exist. And if you're watching your virgin, that's wonderful. That's a beautiful thing that you save yourself, male or female, for your future wife or future husband. That's beautiful. That's how you should be. You really should. If we want to just tell it like it is, and you are a Christian or you believe in the Bible or whatever the case may be. Because I always tell people this: everybody does not share the same religious beliefs or the same moral beliefs or have the same ethical compass, okay, in anything in life, okay? So just saying that. But if you are and you believe in the Bible, or you just believe in saving yourself, period, regardless of your religious preference, you just believe you want to save yourself for your future spouse, I think that's beautiful. That's wonderful, okay? And I'm sure that there are some out there that have done that and things didn't work out and they end up getting divorced. Life be life, and things happen. Things don't always, go to death do us part. We know that the marriage rate or the divorce rate is pretty high here in the United States. We already know that. Some people get a divorce like they changed their underwear. It's what moves them that day, But so when I asked my daughter that, I thought about it. So it made me think about my life. Like I said, I'm not going to really get into their personal relationship too much or give my opinion too much on them. I'm just going to kind of hit some pointers that I just want to give people something to think about. You know what I'm saying? They're both pretty much young. I think he's attractive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take nothing away from him because some people are saying he's not attractive. I'm not going there. I think he's an attractive man. She's definitely a gorgeous woman. Beautiful. I don't know either one of them. They both seem to have, their own separate things going on. She is a rapper. She also has businesses and stuff like that. So she has her own money. He has his money. Now, who's richer? I don't know. I don't care. I don't follow basketball. You know, I'm really a let's go Dallas Cowboy person. So I like football, but even then I don't follow the players. You know, I couldn't tell you who makes what. I'm not into all of that. Okay. But they are okay. They're both doing well for themselves. I don't think financially they need each other. Okay. What I wanted to say about things sometimes don't work out. Now, I have no problem with a male or a female changing their mind about a relationship. You have every right to do that. Whether you decided that person is no longer what serves you, that person is just no longer where you are, and they're not for me. Maybe in the beginning I was feeling them, but now I don't know, something's different. I'm not happy no more. I want out. Or maybe you get cold feet, or maybe you say it's nothing wrong with them. It's just that I still want to do me. I still want to be outside. Have no problem with that. I really don't, regardless of what your age is. The problem I have is how you get out of a relationship. That's the problem I have. We are adults. If you are an adult, and even if you're not an adult, you can be a teenager. Because I talk to my son and my daughter, even when they were young, there is no reason to be disrespectful. It's uncalled for. If you want to no longer talk to a boy or no longer talk to a girl, you can have a conversation. If you're too nervous or you don't want to do it in person, you could do it over the phone. Either way, give that person the respect to end the relationship and maybe a reason. Give them closure. It may not be the reason they want to hear. They even may say, I can change, I can fix it. What did I do wrong? Whatever. Honesty is always the best thing. And sometimes it's not necessarily anything that the person did or isn't doing. They just aren't your person. And I'm okay with that. No matter what your age is. It's just how you end the relationship that I find I have a problem with. Because sometimes men get mad, or women, when men are when people are slashing tires, because men do it too. So if you are getting your tires slashed, your windows broke, your car spray painted, and all the stuff. I'm not saying it's right. And if you are doing that, stop it. Stop doing that. I get it. People, you get your heart broke and you're mad, or they didn't do it right, or you invested all this time and then now they want out. That is their right. Stop doing the most because you get hurt. Your feelings are valid. I am not trying to dismiss your feelings or your emotions, but you need to check that. Slashing people's tires, breaking their windows, showing up on their job, making all these phone calls, doing all that, posting. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, because people show you who they are, and when they do, believe them. So if you're one of those people that don't like rejection or don't want to be dismissed or get your heart broke, I'm sorry. That is unfortunately a part of life. And yes, it sucks to invest in somebody for months, years, and then the ending is they don't want you anymore, or they cheat on you for whatever reason, or they break up with you and you get no closure. I do feel like you should get closure. Everyone deserves that. Especially if it's something that they have done that you have repeatedly told them that you do not like, or that you want them to change, and they not trying to do it. I get it. I totally understand. And you have to have boundaries, and you need to set them, because what I'm not going to do is try to do forever with somebody that does not find my feelings important enough to make adjustments or to change or whatever it is. I'm not here to, and this is another thing. I'm not talking about you up here making 100,000+ a year, and this person over here is just barely making 5 figures or something like that, and you want them to go to school or start a business or elevate to where you are. I'm not talking about that, because my thing is, when you meet somebody, you have those conversations, and you have to accept people where they are. And then you have the conversations where, okay, what's your dreams? What's your ambitions? Do you have any future goals, future plans? And maybe that's somebody that you are willing to wait for them to get there. But if they are not talking about doing anything, well, this is kind of where I am. I'm all right. I'm content. And you want bigger and better things. That's not your person. That's not your person. Quit trying to go into relationships and changing people, because that's how you get your heart broke. That's how you get your feelings hurt. That's how you get mad and pissed off because he laying on the couch or she laying on the couch playing PS5 or on social media or whatever, and ain't really making no money on social media, but that's what they want to do, and they making a little bit of change. Or maybe they're just at a place in life where they are content where they are, but that you want more. You want to continue to grow and elevate. Meet people where they are. You either accept them being here and you here, and you okay being the breadwinner, or you're okay with having to foot the biggest portion of the bills in, through that relationship. Because if not, and they don't have any dreams or ambitions, and they are okay with where they are, then that's not your person. That's somebody else's person. Okay? So I don't care how cute, how fine they are and all that. If you cannot be happy with where a person is and whatever their dreams, ambitions, or lack thereof, that's not your person. Okay? I just need to throw that out there, because too many of us want to get in there. I can change him. I can change her. I can help them elevate. I can boost them. I can make them want to be better. It's either in them or it's not. Or it's in them and maybe they just need a little bit more encouragement, and you can see the potential in them early on. But if you see that they just don't have it in them, that's not your person. It's not your person. And you're going to find yourself frustrated and mad and pissed off all the time. So don't do it. Sometimes, no matter how cute and fine they are, that's the one that you're going to have to just throw back. Okay? You're going to have to throw it back. Maybe down the line, maybe something will spark, something will happen, and you'll meet again. Because if it's really your person, if it's meant to be, it will be. I just have to believe that. I really do believe that. That's something I just wanted to throw out there. Now, about the breaking up. Now, allegedly, this was her. She posted that she ended her relationship with Mr. Clay because he cheated on her. And I'm saying allegedly because I don't know. I mean, I see stuff all on social media. I don't know. I don't know either one of them. Okay. My problem is if he wanted out of the relationship and that's the way he chose to do it, I feel like he was wrong. And I'm just saying because I don't know, if that was true that he cheated on her, and if it was that he cheated on her and that was his way out or whatever. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Like I said, I don't know them. I feel like this is when you put your grown underwear on or your panties on, and you sit down with that person that you have invested time and energy with and space with, and you say, hey, I want to end a relationship, and this is why. Now, whether you do it in person or you do it over the phone, whatever, because I don't, you only know that person and how they may react. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because some people say, I don't want to break up in person. You do it on the phone, you do it in text, whatever. Give that person that respect. Give them that closure. And yes, some people are going to fight it. Some people are going to call. They're going to be crying. They're going to be, what can I do? Why? Look, on one part of that, you have to be adamant. You can't be, none of that. If you are going to break up with somebody, stand on it. If you have the reason why you're breaking up with them, stand on that. Don't give them hope. Don't give them hope that there's no way in heck you're going to go back to them. Be firm in your breaking up with them. You can only control you. You cannot control them. I'm hoping they accept that, but some people don't, and it's hard for some people. And let me talk about that. When somebody chooses to end a relationship with you, I know it hurts. I know it sucks, especially if you really thinking everything is great and you really feeling them and you just do not understand. Some people are going to give you closure. Some people aren't. Some people are just not cut out to really be able to come to you and say, this is why. Some people don't want the confrontation. Some people just don't want it. So whether it's by text, by phone, in person, and you asking for closure because you're asking why, what did I do wrong, or what happened, what went wrong in the relationship? Listen to what they have to say without waiting to respond. Listen, especially If that's what you want, listen to why. Because if it is something that you need to work on, then that's great. You've got something that you know that was a problem, and you need to take step away, work on it. Now, if they give you some old stupid reason, cockamamie story, and you know that's what that is, then that's a whole nother thing. And then again, that's not your person. They just want out the relationship, and now they just trying to, give you something to make it seem like it was your fault. You know what I'm saying? You know what's legit and what's real. But you also have to be honest with yourself and be open to hearing them out is what they say. And also sometimes accepting it. Again, if it's meant to be, who knows what may happen down the line. You can either adjust, make some changes because you agree, yeah, you're right about that. And take some time away and fix it and adjust. And who knows, maybe down the line you will run back into each other again, or maybe you won't, or maybe the next person you meet, you will not do those things, right? Okay. But I do feel like everybody deserves closure, and you should not just step out on somebody, and then especially considering you are in a high profile relationship, especially knowing that the paparazzi is around and all of that. You shouldn't do that. We are adults, and I feel like there's always a better way to end a relationship. Okay. If it is definitely if it's domestic violence or something like that, I definitely don't recommend doing it in person, or definitely don't recommend you doing it alone. Definitely. So I don't want to get all off into that, but I'm just saying, you know who you're dealing with. You decide how you should do it. But I definitely feel like you shouldn't be disrespectful about it. Okay. Meaning stepping out on somebody, cheating on them and all that. Don't do that. Or just totally ignoring them and letting them say, well, you should have just known. I ain't calling you. I ain't coming to see you, all that. Don't do that. If you're a real man, you're a real woman, let a person know that you have decided this is just not working for you anymore. If they want to know why, great. Sometimes they may not want to know because maybe they already know. Or maybe they wanted out too and was waiting for you to end it. Okay. Now, let me say this too. They are both young. I don't know exactly. Like I said, I think I put it up here, but I don't know. But they to me still young. I mean, I'm 57. I'm old enough probably to be their mother. Let me say this. They're not married to each other. And I know people saying, well, he done bought her this car and they bought a house together and she cooking for their family and they do. Everything that you see on social media is what you see in the public. None of us were there for the pillow talks. None of us was there when they had the private conversations. None of us were there for any of the behind the scene moments in their relationship. All we know is what we saw on social media, what they allowed us to see. I don't know if they were having problems. I don't know. I don't know if he had conversations with her or she had conversations with him. I don't know. Yes, but on the outside looking in, I'm thinking, oh, he really loved her. Oh, yeah, okay. We might be seeing a wedding, an engagement and a wedding. But none of us really know. And to all the ladies and the men who are bashing Clay or bashing Meg, I feel like we are on the outside looking in. And we're giving our opinion based off of what we see. And again, I just want to iterate. We weren't, none of us, unless you are a close family member or the best friend who they can totally confide in about all the bad stuff that was going on. You really don't know what led to him deciding to allegedly cheat and therefore causing her to post that she broke up with him because he had cheated on her. Okay, none of us know. And then, so I really feel like, some of the women was like, oh, over here dissing Meg and all that, whatever. I don't know if you're just trying to get your 5, 10, 15 minute spotlight, hoping that he sees your video. Oh, she riding for me. She kind of cute. I'm going to step to her. I don't know. Or if you were auditioning to be his next boo thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because people have different motives for coming on and dissing another woman who clearly showed that she was heartbroken. And then you got the men over here. And this is a whole nother point I want to just really talk about. me coming on here, like I said, from what my daughter said, either you're mad about the whole Tory thing, or now you're saying he could do better because she got a high body count. Now, allegedly, from all the stuff I've seen, he has a high body count too. But see, that's the thing in our society. That's what I don't like. It's too, we are double standards. See, when the men do it, they get pat on the back, they getting high five. He living his best life. But when the women do it, she a garden tool. It's a double standard. It's a double standard, and I don't like it. I think it's so unfair because you have two individuals that are not married to anybody. They've been in relationships, or maybe they were kicking it with somebody and it didn't work out. I wasn't there when she or him slept with anybody. Were you? We've seen the women or the men that they appeared with in public, but I wasn't there. Were you there? Is there a sex tape or something out that showed every single one of these guys that she allegedly slept with and every single one of these women that he allegedly slept with? Is there some type of sex tapes out there for you to actually have 100% proof that he or she has slept with all these people? See, we're just going on assumptions because somebody steps out with somebody, or because he or she say they slept with them, they slept with them. Let's not do that. Let's stop doing that, because I'm not in her bedroom. I'm not in his bedroom. But I definitely feel like it's unfair to call her a garden tool, because nobody's talking about all the women he's allegedly slept with. I see all the women he supposedly dated, but these are all the women he supposedly slept with. No, we not. They're calling him a garden tool. Now, some people are, but I feel like it's more of a diss on her, because I saw the memes with the men in line with the train, and I saw the memes with all the men in line with him. I saw those memes. I'm not going to post them because they were both disgusting. They both were disgusting. Because let's be honest, there is not a whole lot of men or women out here virgins when they get married. Those of you that are out there, I applaud you. I applaud you. It's a beautiful thing. Regardless of your religious beliefs, or you just someone who feels like, I want to save myself for my wife or my husband. Beautiful, wonderful. But there's a whole lot of us out there, including me, that was not a virgin when I got married. And I have dated several guys, lots of guys, several guys. Okay, whatever. Okay, I'm not saying I got no high body count, but my husband wasn't my first. He wasn't my second. He wasn't my third. I mean, I'm 57. I could probably sit here and really think, because I don't have a huge body count. But however, I have a body count. Most of us do. So does it matter if it was 2, 3, or 4, or 5 versus 10 or 20? Does it matter? They weren't your spouse. It still wasn't your spouse. You still was having intimacy, having relations before marriage. So you better, because maybe you got 2 or 3 body counts versus somebody got 10 or 15. No, you still slept with people that weren't your spouse. Does it matter if you got a 20 count versus a 30 or 40 or 50? Is anyone better than the other? It still ain't one. It still ain't 0. I'm saying we are so judgmental. And if we all really, really was honest with ourselves, you all foul. All of you who up here talking about body counts, whether you team Clay, team Meg, talking about somebody's body count, you all foul. Because like I said, if you ain't a virgin, if you are not, and I'm not talking about you second time virgins, those of you who saying, I'm now celibate for all these years and now I feel like I'm a reborn virgin. No, you're not a virgin. You're not a virgin. You've just been celibate. You've learned some things. You figured out some things, and you decided that I'm going to be celibate for a while, and the next person that I do give myself to will be my husband or my wife. You're still not a virgin. You are just somebody that's been celibate. Okay. So we're not going to do that. You don't get to start over. That's not how that works. Anyway, I'm just saying, I don't like the whole thing where we up here talking about people's body count. Because to me, it's not fair. It's not fair. They're young people. They're not married. Would I have done some of the things like me? Because I'm different. I'm a Capricorn. I'm different. I probably would not have came on and said I ended my relationship with Clay because he cheated on me. You would have just eventually known we weren't together anymore. I may have been in an interview and I'm going to say, I haven't seen you with Clay. There's no post. There's no none. I would just say things didn't work out. We went our separate ways. That's me. Cause see, I'm the type, I'm not going to give you nothing. I'm not going to give you anything. You can make all the assumptions you want. He may come out and say something, or whoever the side chick was, if that is true, may come out and say something. I'm not going to give it to you. See, I would have just did it different. Cause see, I'm 57 and I know me, and I'm a Capricorn, and I know how I move. Even back then, when I was out there in the streets before I got married, if things didn't work out with me and a guy, I didn't announce it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you just didn't see him no more. I didn't go and call my friend. I broke up with him. I'm sick. They would just say, girl, where's this? Oh, it just didn't work out. I didn't diss him. I didn't do none of that. It didn't work out. That's it. That's all. And so I probably would have did that a little different from her, but we're all different and we all handle our hurt and our pain differently. And she wanted to make the announcement. She did. Fine. So all the people who love Meg and feeling her, I understand that, we girls are here for you and all that. And that's a great thing. And then all you dudes out there, that's all, he ain't thinking about her. He's a millionaire living his best life. What has money got to do with anything? She got her own. Now, I don't know what her bank account look like. I don't. But she's a rapper. She's a entrepreneur. She's doing her thing. So she ain't hurting. It's not like she needed his money like some of these women I hear that are dating celebrities or athletes because they don't have anything. They come from poverty, or they just they want that wealth. Okay. And I'm not dissing nobody. Don't get me wrong. Cause y'all know I ain't lying. Some of these young women have been groomed to go after celebrities or groomed to go after ball players. Y'all know that. We know that. That ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. So I'm not here to talk about them. I'm not here to talk about the men who fall for it, whatever the case may be. But we know that's a real thing, that a lot of these girls are groomed to go after wealth. Even if it's not, business giants, whatever. They're groomed for that. Some of them don't even have a degree, don't even have a leg to stand on or nothing. That's why sometime early on, they go ahead and spit out a couple of babies. Let's just keep it a buck. Okay. Now, and I'm not dissing anybody. I'm just saying that I get so sick and tired of people coming on and trying to talk about somebody who has allegedly been around. Okay. So she's a beautiful woman, got a beautiful body. I'm pretty sure when she's dating, and this is just me thinking. Now, when you young, because when I was young, I wasn't thinking about marriage. I wasn't thinking about my forever person. I was enjoying my life. Okay. As many of us were. Okay. Trying to figure out who I am, trying to learn me, trying to come into my own. So yes, I did some things that maybe I could, if I, in my 57-year body now, and as an adult would say, why did I do that? Why did I do this? Okay, we all have made mistakes in some form or fashion, whether it's a person you dated, whether it's somebody you married and you shouldn't have, whether it's a friend shouldn't even be your friend, whether it's a job you shouldn't have took or a job you shouldn't quit. We all have made mistakes in this life, and we need to stop judging people. My daddy, God rest his soul, who was a preacher, he used to always say, I don't know exactly how he always said it, but he used to say, be careful about judging people's skeletons, because most of us know that if somebody opened one of our closet doors, it will be a whole lot of skeletons falling up out that closet. That ain't exactly how he would say it when he be preaching about it, but he always talked about that. And it's basically about being judgmental, judging people. Because a lot of us know that if walls could talk, if walls could talk, a lot of us would go somewhere and hide. A lot of us wouldn't be able to take it. We wouldn't be able to handle people out here talking about us, talking about our clothes and all the things that people love to do. Stop being judgmental. Stop it. I don't have a pretty past. I don't have a perfect past. I've done a lot of things that, like I said, I regret a lot of my young decisions, because that's what they were. Young, immature, dumb, stupid decisions. And I tell my kids that all the time when I'm talking to them about things, even when I'm fussing at them about stuff. I always tell them, I I'm not judging you. I'm just trying to stop you from doing some of the same dumb things that I did, because I promise you the result is going to be the same. I promise you. My daughter once told me, she said, Mom, this is my journey and I have to take it. And it took me a while to accept that, because none of us want to see our kids fail. None of us want to see our kids go over the cliff. None of us want to see our kids get their heart broken. We don't. But it did make me say, you're right. Now, I did cut the apron string. I had to. But at the same time, I always keep that lifeline. Because at the end of the day, I may let you go over the cliff, but I'm not going to let you go all the way down. I'm not going to hit rock bottom. I'm going to eventually extend that lifeline so I can pull you back up. Because that is what a mother or a father or a grandparent or whatever it is, whoever it is that is raising you, that is their job. But you do have to allow your kids to make mistakes with a little bit of guidance. And I know sometimes it is hard to watch. It is hard to watch. Now, my daughter also made me aware that Meg does not have her parents in her life. So I don't know if she has someone that she looks up to or respects to help guide her through her journey. I don't know. I do not know. I know Clay has both his parents in his life. Now, what type of influence they have on him, I don't know. I do not know. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know, because sometimes it doesn't matter. We all see good kids or kids who get into serious trouble come from good homes, whether it's two-parent home or a single-parent home. They came from a good home and still mess up. Some of them end up unalived, and some of them end up locked up. Some of them end up on drugs. Okay. Life happens. Things happen. So I don't know if not having that motherly figure, not in her life or present. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who raised her. I don't know what kind of upbringing she had. I'm not really trying to get all up into that, but I'm saying, because people were bringing that up, and I'm like, sometimes that matters and sometimes it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in a Christian home. I was in church all the time. Eventually, my father got in church, because he wasn't always in church, and became saved, born again, became a deacon, then a minister, and then eventually a pastor of his own church. So I grew up in a good home, but I also grew up in a sheltered environment as well. So when I turned 18, I was out there in them streets. Don't get me wrong. I worked. I have been working since I was 16, sometimes full-time, part-time, 2 full-times. I, was going to school, almost went in the United States Army, but I had a health issue that wouldn't allow me to go in. But yeah, eventually got on at working with the Postal Service. I have beautiful children, grandkids, all of that. But I still, in the midst of being young and dumb and doing stupid things, to being married and settled and being a grandmother and all that in between, made a lot of dumb decisions, did a lot of dumb things, got involved with a lot of guys I probably shouldn't have. My daddy said, you're born and you die. And in that, there's a dash. And that's your life right there. And within that dash, there are going to be some good decisions and there are going to be some bad decisions. And what I want my young babies, whether you're male or female, to know is that your decisions that you make, bad or good, don't always define who you are or who you will become. Okay? It's okay to make mistakes. The part is learning from your mistakes. Okay? If I tell you the stove is hot and you touch it, okay, now you know it's really hot. Don't go back and touch it again. Some people learn their lesson the first time. Some people learn it the second time. Some people, it just takes a little bit longer. Okay? So don't beat yourself up because you keep picking the wrong person, because you think he's the one, she's the one. You feel that way about them. That doesn't necessarily mean that they feel that way about you, which is why I always say you have to take your time, date, get to know, have great communication, because hopefully early on you can figure out if that's your favorite person. But there's also that person that's very good at being a chameleon. They are any and everything you want them to be. They're checking off the boxes and everything. Because sometimes we tell people what we want and what we need from them, and they become that person, and it's really not who they are. And then once you're in it and they got you, then they start showing who they really are. So sometimes you have to be careful with when people say, oh, well, what are you looking for in a woman and a man? And then you go to just spilling it. It's okay to tell them, I say the basics. I want somebody that has a job. I want somebody that acknowledges my birthday. I want somebody that acknowledges Christmas. I want somebody that's in church. I want somebody that believes in children. Basics. But I don't want you to go into explaining to them all the things of how you want to be treated and this, that, and other, because you tell them how to play the game with you. Because see, sometimes relationships are chess, not checkers. And you have to be careful of all the information that you are giving somebody about yourself and about what you want. Because then that person, if they are not coming at you with true selves, and they are really for the streets and they just want to play you, you've given them all the ammunition to be able to do just that. So you have to be careful with how much you share, okay? Of how much you share. Because I think sometimes as you date, things will be revealed as to what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, and what you like and what you don't like. You kind of start figuring those things out without having to tell somebody or without them having to tell you. Okay, so be careful on that, because you do have players out there and they very good at playing. Because I've met a few. I've met a few in my single days. Now, also, let's go back to the body count thing. Now, the only thing about the body count that I have an issue with for my young men, well, I don't even want to say young, for my men and women who are free or who are just very sexually active. My concern is not that you have a high body count. That's what everybody want to keep talking about, is that we're talking about your life. Okay, we're talking about your life. We're talking about HIV and AIDS is still on the rise. It is still real. It's still out there. Yes, people are living with it. They are. But do you really want to be subjective to the rest of your life having to take a cocktail every day? Now, I have not did my research. I don't know how advanced things are, if things are just really simple now. I don't know. But it's there for the rest of your life. STDs are real. They are real, babies. And let's be real. We may start off using protection or in the beginning stages of the relationship. Some people, some of us. But eventually, some of us, we eventually stop, because then we feel like, well, now we're in a committed relationship. We have both agreed to be monogamous. So therefore, I no longer want to use protection. It's still a risk, because people still cheat, people still lie. And you still, you know what I'm saying? It's playing Russian roulette with your life. So that is my concern about having a high body count. I'm not here to judge you on being promiscuous. I'm not here to judge you on how many boyfriends and girlfriends you've had and failed relationships and all that. I'm not, because that is life and it happens. Not everybody's out here trying to be, for the streets. Not everybody's out here just want to sleep with this person, that person. You actually are dating because you are hoping for this person to be your forever person. And sometimes it just doesn't work out for one reason or other. Sometimes early on, but sometimes you devote years to a relationship and it doesn't work out. And then, time goes by, you meet somebody else. So this is what I'm saying. I think it's unfair to talk about a person's body count. Okay? Unless you are a lady or a gentleman of the evening and that is what you do, then okay, that's what you do. But the majority of us are out here looking for our person. We're looking for our person. And sometimes things just don't work out with somebody, and you in a relationship, you heal, or you move on to the next person. Some of us faster than others. Some of us should take some time, but that is life and it happens. Again, it happens. But I don't think that makes you a thought. That doesn't make you a garden tool because, you've slept with more than one person or more than two, because at the end of the day, I don't care if, like I said, if it's more than 5, 10, 15, 20, you still have had premarital sex with somebody. And so, again, my concern is not with that. My concern is your health. And that is where I am concerned with for my babies out there. And I know it's hard because but then again, it shouldn't be hard, because if you tell a person, look, I want to see where this is going, I'm not going to give it a time frame. I just want to see where it's going and how I feel. And if a person is really into you and they really want to be with you, they will date you. They will date you. And if they are serious about a relationship, you eventually will get to a point where you will have that conversation about, okay, it's been how many months? It's been a year. It's been whatever, and I really want to go to the next step with you, because not everybody's wanting to wait till they're married. I'm not here to talk about that, because again, I tell people all the time, you have to take religion out. Not all of us believe in the same thing. So I never want to. I grew up Baptist. Okay. A lot of my moral compass and all of that, yes, comes from my upbringing in the church and being raised by a pastor and a first lady. So yes, that's where my moral compass from. But you have people out here that do not believe in any particular religion, but they have a moral compass and they have decided to save themselves for marriage. So I don't want to put religion in it. I just want to say that we have two consenting adults who have decided to date one another, and at whatever point that they decide to be intimate with one another and to carry on and hopefully move forward in the relationship, and hopefully it leads to marriage. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And that is the reality of life. Okay, that is life. That doesn't make you a garden tool. Doesn't necessarily make you, somebody that's, promiscuous. It just means that you have dated and the relationships did not work out. And so, but I do want you all to start to think about making sure that you're being safe when you are engaging in extracurricular activities. Whether you are in a relationship, not in a relationship, dating, I don't know. I just feel like this should be a deeper conversation, especially for our young men and women, especially coming from us older people. We've been here a while. And if anything, let's encourage our young people to slow down, take their time, get to know people, really come into your own, come into yourself, know what you like, what you don't like, what you are looking for in a relationship, in a person, and all the things. Will that 100% guarantee that the next person you find yourself intimately involved with is going to last forever, lead to the altar, lead to y'all till death do you part? It's not 100% guarantee. It's not. It's not. And it's unfortunate, but I just really want to emphasize my concern with your health, that we need to protect ourselves and, use protection and all the things, because unfortunately there are people out here that do have things and they are not telling people that they have something. And it's not fair and it's not right. But that is a reality, because there is some wicked people in this world, men and women. So you need to protect yourself on that note. Okay. The other thing is unwanted pregnancies. We have enough children coming into this world unloved, uncared for, unwanted, and also coming into being born into situationships and born into, now the mama hates the daddy hates the mom and all that. And now y'all have brought this beautiful bundle of joy, but you now hate each other. And that spills down over the children, because a lot of us can't co-parent. We weren't even mature enough to even be bringing in another life. We really weren't. We weren't ready for it. But you did, whether it was so you could get to the bag, or whether it's so you could try to punish that person, or whatever the case may be. I really we need to stop bringing in unwanted children. Our babies are suffering. There's so many suffering because the dad is not there or the mom is not there, or even if they are there, they're bickering at each other's throats because they were not equally yoked, and they should have never, let alone had children together, but they shouldn't have even been together. So those are my real concerns when it comes to serial daters or people that's, out there like that. Not that you are living your life because you're single and you have every right to date and live your best life. You know what I'm saying? You're not cheating on anybody or nothing like that, hopefully. But it's the things that the consequences to stuff like that. Like I said, the STDs, HIV, AIDS is on the rise again, especially in the Black community. This is not a gay disease, so let's stop saying all that dumb stuff, okay? It's just as prevalent in the heterosexual community as it is in the gay community, okay? So it's that, and also bringing in these unwanted babies, or these babies you bring to this world to spite the daddy or whatever the case may be. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Let's be really women. You control your bodies. Let's stop doing that. If you want to live your best life, that's fine. But please use protection. Okay, protect yourself, your health, protect yourself. You need to do that at all costs. And we all, men and women, need to make sure that we are also doing what we need to do so that we are not bringing children in this world that are not wanted. I just think that is so unfair. Especially if you're there for a good time and not for a long time. Make that clear and use some protection. I don't know. But anyway, that was my 2 cents on that. I don't know how long this video is. I'm going to edit it, but I just really want to talk about that because I just see the videos, and it's disheartening how some people are dragging Meg, and then they're dragging Clay and all the things. But like I said, if you're not married, you have every right to date. You have every right to live your life. And not everybody's out there just moving and grooving and stuff. And again, like I said, be careful with that judging, okay? Because like a lot of us know, if walls could talk, if that bed could talk, yeah, stop that. Let's just stop that. Okay, there's 2 people that were involved in a relationship. It did not work out for one reason or the other, whether it's more on him or more on her or whatever the case may be. It's over. It's done. Okay. I wish her well. I hope she does find her forever person. I really do. And I know she will heal. You know what I'm saying? God won't put you through no more than you can bear. And so you will heal from this, your heartbreak. You will be fine. You're a beautiful woman. You have a career, all the things. I wish you well. And like I said, every heartbreak is a lesson. So hopefully, however your dynamics of your relationship was, hopefully you learned something from it. And you are going to pause and take your time and if the red flags are there, you probably shouldn't ignore them. And as far as Mr. Clay, I don't know if he was in it just for the fun of it, for the clout. And again, this is not about money. Just to say, oh, I dated Meg, I hit that, I did whatever. I don't know. But he has allegedly a large body count too. So I don't know if he has a fear of commitment, long-term commitment, if he really is just a player, because I heard about something he did before when he was younger with his book, and all that. I ain't getting all into that, but so I don't know. I don't know if he has a fear of long-term commitment, if he is for the streets. I don't know. Or if he just truly was just ready to get out of the relationship. I don't know. Like I said, none of us really know, unless you're a close family or friends. You really don't know. But I hope he figures it out. I hope he the next relationship is the right one, the right person. I don't wish him any bad. I just don't. I don't wish her any bad. I just hope that moving forward, if he does get in another relationship, that the respectable thing to do would be to end a relationship in private and not let it be a public spectacle, because all this really could have just been avoided. You know what I'm saying? I know some people saying he didn't cheat, blah blah blah. I don't know. I can only go by what she posted, what's out there. So again, I wish them both well. I'm not here to diss either one of them, because I really just wanted to hit some key points and really talk to my single people out there to be careful with your body, with your life, because diseases, they're out there. They're real. They are real. And also for my ladies, so that you don't become a single mother, protect yourself. Be careful, okay? Because I'm going to tell you, it's hard. It's hard being a single mother. And sometimes you get a great father. One may not have been a great boyfriend or partner, but he ends up being a great father, and that's great. But that's not always the case. It really isn't. Sometimes you see a whole nother side to these men when they have children, because they take their hate and frustration out on their child, their seed. Not necessarily physically, but emotionally, mentally. They are detached. They're not available. So if we are going to have children, let's make sure that we are vetting the people that we decide to have children by. So even if the relationship does not work out, and hopefully you end, maturely, that you can still co-parent and still be great parents to those beautiful children that you two brought into the world. Okay. Hopefully I kind of touched on some points and stuff like that. This was, like I said, mainly for my babies that's still out there, who's still single, not really giving too much opinion on Meg and Clay, because again, we weren't there for the pillow talk. I don't know what he promised her. I don't know what she promised him. We weren't there behind closed doors to see the full dynamics of their relationship. So I don't want to judge either one of them. Okay, I really don't. But I do wish them both well. I hope they both have an immaculate career moving forward and can move on from this whole thing, and and eventually find their forever person. That is my hope and my prayer for both of them. Okay, that stuff like that comes with growth and maturity, because in my 20s I probably would have been a different conversation. You see where you are in your 20s versus your 30s and your 40s and then your 50s. Because if I was on YouTube in my 20s, even in my 30s, it might be a whole different conversation. You see what I'm saying? But at 57, I'm in a different place in my life, and I can look at both sides of the coin and then say, okay, but yeah. Anyway, just wanted to come and talk about it a little bit. That's my opinion, my thoughts, and all the things. I wish you all a blessed weekend and everything. And I hope I have said something. If you are single, or if you have a young daughter or son that are single out there, that maybe I give you something to talk to them about or whatever. Because we can always turn something negative into something positive, meaning we can always take something from that and hopefully teach somebody something. Okay, teach somebody something. But anyway, love you guys. If you're not subscribe to the channel. I do a little bit of everything over here. We talk about it. We vlog our life. I'm taking you on a journey on this retirement process. I do hair. I do makeup. We just have fun. And if you are not into any of that and you like to travel, Babe and I started a channel, Katie and Kammy's Adventures. It's going to be linked below. It's new, but go over there and subscribe, turn on your notifications, because we are definitely going to be traveling more. Hopefully, definitely a little bit more this year, but definitely starting next year. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment. Give me your thoughts. I respond to all of my comments. I do. Because who knows? It may be a part 2, depending on some of the comments. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever it is. Definitely, you know, swipe over and hype the video up if you enjoyed it so YouTube can push it out there and share it with other people that might enjoy my channel. Anyway, until next time, Kammy loves you. Mwah.